Tonight, somewhere in a Marriott in Kansas City, a man worth $40 million is staring at the ceiling. He's not texting, he's not watching film, he's not even nervous exactly. He's just lying there in the dark, picturing something. And tomorrow, 90,000 people will watch him play in the World Cup. Most fans spend years imagining what it would feel like to be that guy. But almost nobody asks what he actually does the night before the biggest match of his life. Not the highlight reel version. Not the press conference answer. The real thing. What he eats. What he does with his phone. What his team is allowed and not allowed to do. And the one habit so strange, so specific, that it sounds like something a 12-year-old made up. Turns out, most of the world has no idea. Let's start with the room itself, because it's not just a hotel room, and it's not random. For the 2026 World Cup, the Football Association, England's national soccer body, commissioned personalized sleep kits for every single player. Not just good mattresses, bespoke mattress toppers built to each player's body shape, weight, and sleeping position. Cooling pillows calibrated for head size. Contoured eye masks. Specialist earplugs. Each kit is made for one specific person. Harry Kane's kit is not the same as the goalkeeper's kit. They are not interchangeable. Eye masks laid out on a bed. And England's sleep coach, yes, that's a real job title, has encouraged players not to panic if they can't fall asleep right away after an evening match. Here's the counterintuitive part. The panic about not sleeping? That is more damaging than the lost sleep itself. It spikes your cortisol, it keeps you wound up. The sleeplessness you feared becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So the instruction is, lie there, let it happen, trust the process. But how did any of this start? Who decided that soccer players needed a sleep scientist in the first place? The answer is one of the strangest origin stories in sports history, and it starts with a mattress salesman. In the mid-1990s, a man named Nick Littlehales worked for a British mattress company called Slumberland. He sent a letter to Alex Ferguson, the most powerful soccer manager in England, asking one question. Had Manchester United ever considered how sleep affected their players' performance? Ferguson invited him in. Within weeks, Littlehales had replaced the mattress of star defender Gary Pallister, a man who'd been playing through chronic back pain for years, with a bed built for his exact frame, 6'4", specific spinal alignment, custom pillows. Pallister's back problems improved almost immediately. Word spread through the sport like wildfire. By 1998, Littlehales was loading a transit van full of duvets and pillows, driving it to France and setting up hotel rooms for David Beckham and the England national team before their World Cup games. A mattress salesman was now a core member of an international sports operation. He later worked with Cristiano Ronaldo. He helped design the recovery protocols still used by major national teams today. The job title he accidentally created, sleep coach, is now standard across every top World Cup squad. And it all started because one guy mailed a letter. Here's a question nobody asks. Before Wayne Rooney went to sleep the night before a game, what did he do? He found the kit man. Not to ask about tactics, not to check the weather. He asked one very specific question. What color are the socks tomorrow? In an interview with ESPN, Rooney explained, "Part of my preparation is I go and ask the kit man what color we're wearing. Red top, white shorts, white socks, or black socks. Then I lie in bed and visualize myself scoring goals. Not just any visualization, a complete sensory-specific one. He built the scene all the way down to the socks. Because here's what sports scientists actually know about visualization. It's not daydreaming. When you vividly imagine performing a movement, in enough detail, with enough specificity, your brain fires the same neural pathways as if you were physically doing it. You are, in a measurable sense, practicing. In your hotel room, in the dark, in your socks. Rooney was creating a memory before the game existed. He called it that, exactly. You're trying to have a memory before the game. Most people think visualization means picturing a trophy. Rooney pictured the socks. That gap between those two things? That's the gap between a fan and a World Cup player. Let's talk about dinner. The night before a match is called match day -1. That's the official term. And the meal is not left to chance. Carbohydrates are the priority. Pasta, rice, bread. The muscles need to be loaded and ready. Nothing exotic. Nothing that risks stomach issues on game day. But then there's Italy. Italy's team nutritionist Elisabetta Orsi revealed that before matches, the Azzurri eat a specific meal designed to match the colors of the Italian flag. Pasta, white. Tomato, red. Extra virgin olive oil, green. It's called playing with the tricolor. It's nutrition, but it's also ritual. The meal is a reminder, sitting right there on the plate, of exactly what they're playing for. England, meanwhile, banned cheese before matches at the 2018 World Cup. Their nutrition staff believed it disrupted sleep and muscle recovery. And earlier in England's history, Fabio Capello, their manager at the time, banned ketchup. His replacement, Roy Hodgson, immediately allowed it back. Somewhere between the tricolor pasta and the great ketchup debate, you start to realize something. The night before a World Cup match, food is not just fuel. It's psychology, it's identity, it's control. Which brings us to the most bizarre team policy ever put in writing. Every World Cup, several national teams issue official rules about what their players can and cannot do the night before a match. Most people know about sex bans. Some teams allow partners, some don't. It's an old debate, but almost nobody knows the specific wording Brazil used. In 2014, Brazil's coach, Luiz Felipe Scolari, announced that players were cleared, but only for what he described as normal sex. Acrobatics, he said, were off the table. France's policy that same year, permitted, but not all night. Nigeria, allowed with wives, not girlfriends. The rules read like a legal contract drafted by someone who had clearly thought about this for too long. But here's the detail that almost nobody has put together. In 2014, every single team that issued a complete, outright sex ban, no exceptions, no nuance, just no, was eliminated before the final. Every one of them. Does that prove anything? No. But it's the kind of coincidence that makes coaches very nervous. Science, for what it's worth, does not support the ban. Testosterone levels rise after sex. The caloric cost is roughly equivalent to a slow walk. The argument that it drains energy was largely invented by coaches who wanted control, not by researchers who ran the numbers. But the bans continue. Because the night before a World Cup game, logic is not always in charge. Here's the thing about professional soccer players. They are among the most finely optimized human beings on the planet. Sleep coaches, nutritionists, sports psychologists, data analysts watching their movement patterns from 17 camera angles. And yet, at the 1986 World Cup, the one Diego Maradona won with Argentina, the Argentine team assigned hotel room numbers based on superstition. Not performance data, not proximity to the training facility. Superstition. The exact logic has never been fully documented. Nobody knows precisely which numbers were lucky or why. The record only tells us the ritual existed, and somehow Argentina won the World Cup. Then there's 1962. In Chile, one team developed a ritual of eating the national food or drink of their opponent the night before each match. Before playing Switzerland, they ate cheese. They won. They kept doing it. The identity of the team is not confirmed in the record. The only version of this story comes from a 2014 radio interview with a soccer historian who said even he couldn't verify the full details. So we have an unnamed team eating their opponent's national food in Chile in 1962 and winning, which is either the most obscure piece of World Cup folklore that ever existed, or proof that eating cheese before a soccer game is a legitimate strategy. We'll let you decide. Ask any fan what messes up a player's sleep before a World Cup match, and they'll say travel, jet lag, new time zones, the stress of being away from home. All of that is real, but it's not the biggest disruption. Research published in 2015 by sleep scientist Nedelec and colleagues found that sleep efficiency falls measurably after evening kickoffs, more than after long-haul flights, more than after unfamiliar hotel rooms. The reason is adrenaline. A match floods the body with stress hormones. Those hormones don't just disappear when the whistle blows. They linger for hours. The body is still in a state of high alert at midnight, and the players know this, which is why, for 2026, England's sleep protocols include specific recovery nap windows, 20 to 90 minutes in the afternoon on match days, to bank sleep in advance before the evening game burns it. Now here's why this matters specifically for World Cup 2026. The tournament spans the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Games are scheduled across multiple time zones. Some players will finish a match at 11 p.m. local time in one city, then travel to a base camp in another time zone before their next game. It's not just a soccer tournament, it's a sleep management competition that happens to involve soccer. The team that handles the nights best? That team has an invisible advantage that never shows up in the pre-match statistics, and almost nobody is talking about it. So, what do World Cup players do the night before? They sleep on mattresses that were built specifically for their body. They eat meals designed around a flag. They visualize the game in enough detail to include the color of their socks. They navigate official team policies about what they're allowed to do, and with whom, written with the specificity of a legal brief. They assign hotel room numbers by superstition and eat their opponent's national food and lie in the dark, trying not to panic about not sleeping. And then the clock hits midnight, and somewhere in a Marriott in Kansas City, or Dallas, or Seattle, or New York, a man worth $40 million closes his eyes. He's already played the game, in his head, in his socks, in the dark. Tomorrow, 90,000 people will watch the version that happens on the pitch. But the real game? The one that matters? That already happened the night before.